Society has taught you that sharing your goals and helping others achieve theirs is noble. But this mindset is keeping you poor, weak, and unsuccessful. Real success requires a level of selfishness that most people are not willing to embrace. While you are explaining your plans to others, giving advice, and celebrating other people's achievements, your competitors are working in isolation, focused entirely on their own advancement. The most successful people in every field are not team players or community builders. They are selfish, focused individuals who understand that their first responsibility is to themselves. Until you become willing to ignore other people's needs, opinions, and feelings in pursuit of your own excellence, you will remain exactly where you are, average, ordinary, and forgettable. The most successful people you know right now are working on something you cannot see while you sleep. They are awake. While you scroll through social media, they are building their future. While you talk about your dreams, they are living them in complete silence. This is not a coincidence. This is a choice, a deliberate, powerful choice that separates the achievers from the dreamers. You see, there is something magical that happens when you stop announcing your intentions and start executing them. When you close your mouth and open your potential. When you trade your need for attention for your desire for results. The world is full of people who love to tell everyone what they are going to do, but the world belongs to those who simply do it. Think about the last time you shared a big goal with someone. Remember that feeling you got when they said, "That's amazing," or "good for you," that warm sensation in your chest. That was your brain giving you a reward for absolutely nothing. You got the emotional payoff without doing any of the work. Psychologists call this premature satisfaction, and it is killing your dreams faster than any external obstacle ever could. The truth is simple but powerful. Talking about your goals makes you less likely to achieve them. Every word you speak about your future plans steals energy from your ability to make them real. Every conversation about what you are going to do reduces the mental pressure that would otherwise drive you to actually do it. This is why the most successful people you admire are often the quietest about their work. Look at any billionaire, any champion athlete, any master craftsman. When they were building their empires, breaking records, or perfecting their skills, they were not on stages talking about it. They were in their laboratories, training facilities, and workshops, working, building, creating, in complete and total silence. Warren Buffett spent decades quietly buying stocks while others debated market trends on television. Michael Jordan was in the gym at 5 in the morning while other players slept. Steve Jobs was in his garage building computers while others talked about the future of technology. They understood something fundamental that most people never learn. Noise is the enemy of progress. When you work in silence, something powerful happens to your mind. Without the distraction of other people's opinions, expectations, and reactions, your focus becomes laser sharp. You stop worrying about what others think and start caring about what actually works. You stop performing for an audience and start performing for results. This shift in mindset is everything. When you are no longer concerned with impressing people with your plans, you become completely concerned with executing them. When you stop seeking approval for your ideas, you start seeking evidence that they work. When you quit talking about becoming successful, the amateur announces, the professional executes. The amateur seeks attention, the professional seeks results. The amateur wants credit for trying, the professional wants credit for succeeding. Which one are you? Working in silence also protects you from something that destroys more dreams than fear or laziness, other people's doubt. The moment you share your big goals, you invite opinions. And most opinions from most people are negative, not because they want to hurt you, but because they are protecting themselves from feeling inadequate about their own lack of action. When you tell someone you are going to start a business, lose 50 pounds, or write a book, their first instinct is to explain why it is difficult, unlikely, or impossible. They will tell you about someone they know who tried and failed. They will remind you of all the obstacles. They will plant seeds of doubt in your mind that will grow into forests of fear if you let them. But when you work in silence, you protect your dreams from this negativity. You shield your goals from other people's limitations. You create a safe space where your ambitions can grow without interference, criticism, or contamination from small thinking. Silent workers also develop something that talkers never do: unshakable confidence. When your self-worth comes from your results instead of other people's reactions, you become unstoppable. When your motivation comes from your progress instead of other people's praise, you become unstoppable. When your validation comes from your achievements instead of other people's approval, you become truly powerful. This is not about being secretive or antisocial. This is about being strategic. This is about understanding that your energy is finite and precious, and that every bit of it should be invested in action, not conversation. This is about recognizing that the most productive thing you can do with your mouth when it comes to your goals is to keep it closed. The silent approach to success is not just more effective, it is more honest. It forces you to confront reality instead of living in the fantasy of future achievement. It demands that you prove yourself to yourself before asking others to believe in you. It requires that you build something real before expecting recognition for something imaginary. When you commit to working in silence, you join a special group of people. People who understand that success is not a spectator sport. People who know that the real competition is not with others, but with their own potential. People who have learned that the most powerful sound in the world is not applause, but the quiet hum of focused, productive work. This is where your transformation begins, not with a grand announcement or a public declaration, but with a private decision. A decision to trade talking for doing. A decision to trade attention for achievement. A decision to work hard in silence and let your success make all the noise. Now that you understand the power of silent dedication, let me show you exactly how invisible progress works and why it is the most reliable path to extraordinary results. What I am about to share with you is backed by decades of research and proven by millions of successful people who chose action over announcement. The compound effect is working in your life right now, whether you realize it or not. Every single day, you are either getting better or getting worse. There is no standing still. Your daily choices, no matter how small they seem, are either moving you toward your goals or away from them. The question is, are you making these choices in silence, or are you wasting energy talking about them? When you read for 30 minutes each day instead of watching television, you are not just learning, you are rewiring your brain. You are building knowledge that will pay dividends for decades. But here is the key. You do not need to tell anyone about it. You do not need to post about it. You do not need recognition for it. You just need to do it day after day in complete silence. When you save $50 each week instead of spending it on things you do not need, you are not just building wealth. You are building the habit of delayed gratification. You are training yourself to think long-term instead of short-term. But again, you do not need applause for this discipline. You need consistency. You need silence. You need the quiet satisfaction of watching your account grow while others wonder how you did it. Scientists have studied what happens in your brain when you tell someone about a goal before you achieve it. The research is clear and shocking. When you announce your intentions, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical that gets released when you actually accomplish something. Your brain cannot tell the difference between talking about success and achieving success. So it rewards you for talking, which reduces your motivation to actually do the work. This is why people who announce their fitness goals on social media often fail to reach them. Their brain already got the reward. They already felt successful. They already received the praise and encouragement they were seeking. The actual hard work of exercising and eating right becomes less appealing because they already got what they really wanted, attention and approval. But when you keep your goals private, something completely different happens. All that mental energy that would have been spent on talking gets redirected toward action. All that dopamine that would have been wasted on announcements gets saved for actual achievement. Your brain stays hungry. Your motivation stays strong. Your focus stays sharp. The most successful people understand this principle intuitively. They work on their craft in private. They build their skills in secret. They perfect their methods in silence. Only when they have something real to show do they step into the light. By then, their success speaks louder than any announcement ever could. This is not about being antisocial or secretive. This is about being smart with your mental energy. Every conversation about your goals drains the battery that powers your action. Every explanation of your plans uses up the fuel you need for execution. Every announcement reduces the internal pressure that drives you forward. Think about a soda bottle that has been shaken. All that pressure inside is potential energy. But the moment you open the cap and let it out, the energy is gone. The same thing happens with your goals. Keep the cap on. Keep the pressure inside. Let it build until it explodes into massive action and incredible results. The discipline of daily habits is where this principle becomes most powerful. When you commit to doing something every single day without fanfare or recognition, you tap into a force that most people never experience. You build momentum that becomes unstoppable. You create systems that work even when you do not feel like working. The businessman who writes one page of his book every morning before work will finish it in a year. The woman who does 50 push-ups every night before bed will transform her body. The student who reviews his notes for 20 minutes after every class will master any subject, but only if they do it quietly, only if they resist the urge to broadcast their efforts, only if they let their results do the talking. Your internal scorecard is the only one that matters. When you stop caring about external validation and start measuring yourself against your own standards, you become unstoppable. When your motivation comes from your personal progress instead of public praise, you develop a strength that cannot be shaken by criticism or derailed by setbacks. This is how invisible progress works. This is how ordinary people achieve extraordinary things. They work when no one is watching. They improve when no one is cheering. They persist when no one believes. And when they finally succeed, the world calls it overnight success, never knowing about the years of silent, steady work that made it possible. Understanding the science is one thing. Applying it is another. Now, let me show you exactly how to master the art of quiet execution and turn your invisible progress into unstoppable momentum. This is where theory meets reality, where knowledge becomes power, where silent workers separate themselves from everyone else. The first principle of quiet execution is treating your goals like a professional business project, not a hobby. When Fortune 500 companies launch a new product, they do not announce it on day one. They research, they plan, they test, they refine, and only then do they reveal their creation to the world. Your personal goals deserve the same professional approach. Create what I call your personal success laboratory. This is your private space where you experiment, fail, learn, and improve without anyone watching. It might be your bedroom at 5 in the morning, your kitchen table after everyone goes to bed, or a corner of your garage where you work on your craft. What matters is not the location, but the commitment to consistent private effort. Time management becomes completely different when you work in silence, without the pressure to perform for others or the distraction of explaining your progress. you can focus entirely on productive action. The most successful people I know have morning routines that no one sees. They wake up early, work on their most important projects, and accomplish more before breakfast than most people do all day. Here is a powerful strategy, the 2-hour rule. Give yourself 2 uninterrupted hours every day to work on your most important goal. No phone calls, no social media, no conversations about what you are doing, just pure focused work. Do this for 90 days and you will accomplish more than you have in the previous year. But quiet execution is not just about productivity. It is about becoming an expert while everyone else remains a beginner. When you stop talking about learning and start actually learning, you develop skills that compound over time. You read while others scroll. You practice while others party. You study while others sleep. The gap between your abilities and everyone else's grows wider every single day. The biggest challenge you will face is handling doubt and criticism from others. When people notice you are not talking about your goals anymore, they will assume you have given up. They will make comments. They will ask questions. They will try to pull you back into the world of talking instead of doing. This is where your mental strength gets tested. Develop standard responses that protect your energy. When someone asks what you are working on, say, "I prefer to let my results speak for themselves." When they wonder why you are not sharing your plans, say, "I am focused on execution right now." Keep your answers short, polite, and final. Do not get drawn into explanations that drain your motivation. Your personal operating system is what separates professionals from amateurs. Create routines that guarantee progress regardless of how you feel. Monday through Friday, you do specific activities at specific times. No negotiation, no exceptions, no excuses. Your system runs on schedule, not on emotion. Track your progress privately. Keep a simple record of what you accomplish each day, not for anyone else to see, but for your own motivation and accountability. When you can see your daily progress adding up over weeks and months, you develop unshakable confidence in your ability to achieve anything you set your mind to. Remember, the goal is not to be secretive forever. The goal is to build something real before seeking recognition for it. When you have genuine results to show, when you have actual skills to demonstrate, when you have real achievements to share, then and only then do you step into the spotlight. By then, your success will speak so loudly that you will never need to say a word about how hard you worked to earn it, while others broadcast their intentions and reveal their strategies. You are about to gain an unfair advantage that most people never recognize. Working in silence does not just make you more productive, it makes you more powerful, more strategic, and more successful than those who announce every move they make. Think about this from a business perspective. Companies that announce every product they are developing give their competitors time to copy them, undercut them, or beat them to market. But companies that work in silence maintain the element of surprise. They control the timing of their reveal. They choose when to step into the marketplace with solutions that others never saw coming. Your personal goals deserve the same strategic protection. When you keep your plans private, you prevent others from interfering with your progress. You stop giving people the opportunity to discourage you, distract you, or steal your ideas. You maintain complete control over your timeline and your methods. Energy conservation is perhaps the most overlooked advantage of silent work. Every conversation about your goals uses mental energy that could be spent on achieving them. Every explanation of your plans drains power from your execution. Every discussion about your dreams reduces the fuel available for making them real. Successful people understand that energy is their most valuable resource. They guard it jealously, they invest it wisely. They never waste it on unnecessary conversations about work they have not yet completed. This is why they accomplish more in a month than most people do in a year when you work in silence. Something remarkable happens to your confidence. Instead of depending on other people's encouragement you develop self-reliance. Instead of needing external validation, you build internal strength. Instead of seeking approval for your efforts, you seek evidence of your progress. This type of confidence is unshakable because it comes from results, not opinions. The reputation you build through silent achievement is fundamentally different from the reputation you build through announcements. When people know you as someone who delivers results without fanfare, they trust you with bigger opportunities. They give you more responsibility. They come to you when they need something important done because they know you focus on execution, not conversation. This creates what I call the success magnet effect. The more you prove yourself through quiet achievement, the more high-quality opportunities get attracted to you. The best projects, the best partnerships, the best investments all flow toward people who have demonstrated their ability to get things done without making noise about it. Silent workers also develop a unique form of mental toughness when you are not dependent on other people's encouragement. Setbacks do not destroy your motivation when you do not need constant validation. Criticism does not derail your progress when your drive comes from within. External circumstances cannot control your success. You become like a submarine operating below the surface while others fight battles on top of the water. You move steadily toward your target while competitors exhaust themselves in visible conflicts. You conserve your resources while others waste theirs on drama and distraction. The networking advantage of silence is counterintuitive but powerful. Instead of attracting people who like to talk about success, you attract people who actually achieve it. High performers recognize other high performers not by what they say, but by what they accomplish. When you let your work speak for itself, you join a network of serious people who value results over rhetoric. This competitive edge compounds over time. While others struggle with inconsistency, you build unstoppable momentum. While others get distracted by opinions, you stay focused on outcomes. While others burn out from performing for audiences, you sustain your energy through private purpose. Let me tell you the story of a man who changed everything by saying nothing. His name was Robert. And 3 years ago, he was exactly where many of you are today. Frustrated with his results, tired of his excuses, and ready for a real change. But instead of making another announcement about his plans, he made a different choice. He decided to work in complete silence for 1 full year. Robert was overweight, in debt, and stuck in a job he hated for years. He had told everyone about his plans to start a business, get in shape, and change his life. His friends had heard it all before. His family had stopped listening. Even he had stopped believing his own words. But on January 1st of that year, something shifted. Instead of posting about his New Year's resolutions, he deleted his social media accounts. Instead of telling people about his goals, he bought a notebook and wrote them down in private for the first 90 days. Nobody noticed anything different about Robert. He woke up at 5 every morning and worked on his business idea for 2 hours before his regular job. He packed healthy lunches instead of buying fast food. He read books about entrepreneurship and fitness during his commute. But he told no one. When coworkers asked why he was not eating pizza at office parties, he simply said he was trying something new. When friends invited him out for drinks, he politely declined without explanation. By month 4, subtle changes started to appear. Robert had lost 15 pounds, but he wore the same loose clothes, so no one noticed. His business plan was complete, but he kept it in a private folder on his computer. He had read 12 books on success and entrepreneurship, but his desk at work looked exactly the same. The only person who knew about his progress was Robert himself at month 6. The transformation was undeniable, but still invisible to others. He had lost 35 pounds and gained muscle, but he had not posted a single before and after photo. His business was generating its first $1,000 in monthly revenue, but he had not quit his day job yet. He had developed unshakable confidence, but he expressed it through quiet competence, not loud announcements. By month 9, people started asking questions. "Robert, you look different. What are you doing?" His answer was always the same: "Just taking care of myself." They pressed for details, but he gave none. He had learned that explaining his methods would dilute his motivation and invite unnecessary opinions. His energy stayed focused on execution, not explanation. At the end of 12 months, Robert had achieved something remarkable. He had lost 50 pounds of fat and gained 20 pounds of muscle. His side business was earning more than his salary. He had saved enough money to quit his job and pursue his dream full time. But here is the most important part. He had developed a system that guaranteed continued success. When Robert finally shared his story, people called it an overnight transformation. They said he was lucky. They claimed he had advantages they did not have. They couldn't understand that his success was built on 365 days of silent, consistent action. While they had been talking about changing their lives, he had been quietly changing his. This is the power of the 90-day silent challenge that I want you to start today. Choose one area of your life that you want to transform. Maybe it is your health, your finances, your career, or your relationships. Make a private commitment to work on it every single day for 90 days without telling anyone about your efforts. Create your personal success laboratory. Set up a space where you can work on your goal without distractions or interruptions. This might mean waking up earlier, staying up later, or finding quiet time during your lunch break. The location does not matter as much as the consistency. Develop your daily non-negotiable actions. These are small, specific activities that you will do every day regardless of how you feel, what else is happening, or what obstacles arise. If your goal is fitness, your non-negotiable might be 30 minutes of exercise. If your goal is financial, it might be saving $20 and reading one chapter of a finance book. If your goal is career advancement, it might be spending 1 hour learning a new skill. Track your progress privately. Keep a simple journal where you record what you accomplished each day. This is not for social media or to show other people. This is for your own motivation and accountability. When you can see your daily efforts adding up over time, you develop unstoppable momentum. Handle the skeptics and questioners with grace but firmness. When people notice that you are not talking about your goals anymore, they will assume you have given up. Some will try to discourage you. Others will try to distract you. A few will try to convince you that you are being antisocial or secretive. Remember that their opinions reflect their own limitations, not your potential. The multiplier effect will surprise you when you succeed in one area through silent work. That success spreads to every other area of your life. The discipline you develop carries over. The confidence you build transfers. The habits you create multiply. Robert did not just transform his body and his business. He transformed his entire identity from someone who talked about success to someone who achieved it. After 90 days, you will have a choice. You can share your progress if you want to, or you can continue working in silence. Either way, you will have proven to yourself that you can achieve anything you set your mind to without needing anyone else's permission, approval, or encouragement. Your life 12 months from now will be completely different if you embrace this approach. You will wake up with quiet confidence instead of loud anxiety. You will measure yourself by your results instead of other people's reactions. You will invest your energy in building your future instead of explaining your plans. You will join the ranks of people who make things happen instead of people who talk about making things happen. But here is what I want you to remember most of all. The person you become through silent work is more valuable than any specific goal you achieve. The discipline, the focus, the self-reliance, the mental toughness, the unshakable confidence, these qualities will serve you for the rest of your life. They cannot be taken away by criticism, destroyed by setbacks, or diminished by other people's opinions. So I leave you with this challenge. Close your mouth and open your potential. Stop announcing and start achieving. Stop seeking approval and start seeking results. Work hard in silence and let your success make all the noise. The world is waiting to see what you can accomplish when you stop talking about it and start doing it. Your silent transformation begins now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Right now, in this moment, with this decision. The most powerful sound you can make is the sound of focused, productive work. Everything else is just noise.